Hello there. Now, looking at the title of this video, you must be wondering what exactly am I trying to say, right? All of us know Gabbar Singh. I take it that at least all of us who are Indians who stay in India, we know who Gabbar Singh is. He is one of the most well known, one of the most hated, one of the most liked, and if I may use the word, one of the most legendary bad guys from the iconic movie Sholay, right? And we know how cruel he is. We know how cold blooded and ruthless he is. I mean, just to take a revenge against his enemy, he kills off the entire family and cuts off his enemy's hands. So that can be as cruel as one can get, right? So I'm trying to say be Zen like Gabbar Singh. Okay. You must be wondering what exactly am I trying to say? Because for most of us who have seen the movie Sholay and who know Gabbar Singh, and those of us who know Zen would be the last word or the last concept that we would ever associate with Gabbar Singh, right? So you must be wondering how can Gabbar Singh be Zen and what exactly is this guy trying to say? Well, see, if you see Gabbar Singh, if you see the character Gabbar Singh in the movie Sholay, you will realize one thing, if, of course, I mean, he's a terrible guy and he does terrible things, but if for a moment you keep that image of him aside and look at him objectively, you'll realize one thing about him, that here's one guy who is truly, truly in touch with his innermost being. In other words, he is being true to himself, right? He knows what he is, he knows what he wants, and he's simply being true to his innermost being. He's not trying to be something else just to impress the world. He's not looking for validation from someone. He's not looking for people to come and praise him and say, oh, you're a good guy, you're a nice guy. He doesn't really care what the world thinks or says about him. There have been so many Hindi movies and some really great Hindi movies in which you had other bad guys, bandits and thieves and whatnot. Almost all of them have some or the other explanation as to why they became what they became, as to why they are bad. Either the character himself or someone on his behalf will come and give some explanation at some point of time in the movie saying that, oh no, this guy became bad because of this. With Gabbar Singh, there is no such thing. Gabbar Singh, he is in touch with his innermost being. He knows what he is and he is true to himself. Now, let me clarify one thing here. I am not suggesting that you become Gabbar Singh and that you start doing all the terrible things that he is doing. What I am saying is that there is something to be learned from everyone. And when I say you become like Gabbar Singh, what I am saying is this is what you learn from him. Know yourself, know your innermost being, know what you are, and be that without looking for validation or approval from anyone. You don't need that. Be true to your innermost being. Be what you feel like being from your innermost being, because that is when you are going to be happy, that is when you are going to be satisfied, and that is when you will give your best in whatever you do. And that is when people around you would be happy. Sounds funny, doesn't it? But definitely I would urge you to again look at the movie Sholay, or at least look at the scenes in which Gabbar Singh is there, and try to think of it from this perspective, that yes, here is a man who is in touch with his innermost being and remaining true to himself. Even in the end of the movie, when the cops are taking him away in the end, that is the time when usually in most of the Hindi movies the bad guy either apologizes or says sorry or gives some explanation for his behavior. With Gabbar Singh, there is no such thing. When they are taking him away in the end and you look at him, you get a feeling that this character, even now, if he gets a chance and if he gets released, he will do exactly the same things that he has been doing. And that's what I mean by remaining true to your innermost self, remaining true to your innermost being. So when I say be like Gabbar Singh, I am not saying become Gabbar Singh. What I'm saying is this is what you learn from him. So get in touch with your innermost being. Find out what it is that you exactly feel like being from inside. Find out what you are and remain true to that. You don't need validation from someone else. Go, try it, and let me know how it feels. All the best, and thank you for watching.